Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is a Neptune reading regarding what is next on your spiritual journey. And we have three piles to choose from today. Pile number one is the Buffalo Spirit. Pile number two is the Wolf Spirit. And pile number three is the Beaver Spirit. So take a deep breath, focus into the energy. What is calling you today? And you can go directly to the description box below to find your pile and choose your pile as well. And for those of you wanting to follow me on social media, my social media is Natalie H at Natalie H Astrology at bluesky.com. You can find me there on Blue Sky. And for those of you that would like a personal reading with me, details are in the description box for how to request one. And if you'd like a natal chart reading with me, details for how to request one are below. And let's go ahead and get right into the reading. Okay. Pile number one, welcome to your reading. You chose the Buffalo Spirit, and today's reading is a Neptune reading on what is next in your spiritual journey. Now, Neptune is going to be moving into the sign of Aries near the end of March, and it is a new beginning here with spiritual journey and healing and all of that. And I truly have been firsthand to Neptune's ability to heal and to join things in consciousness and move things up in consciousness. So let's go ahead, and I've seen it in astrology, I've seen it in people's charts. So pile number one, let's go ahead and get into your reading, right? How do we have a productive use of Neptune? It's not always just confusion or deception. How do we work with Neptune in a way that enhances our spiritual journey? So let's go ahead and take a look at that for pile number one. Show me pile number one, please. And the Neptune journey that we are going on. Okay, Ten of Swords. Definitely needing a refresh. Mental refresh is needed big time. We have Strength, we have Wheel of Fortune, and we have Six of Cups. Ooh, that's beautiful. Beautiful, lively, colorful energy coming from a place that has been very dark and very challenging. Pile number one, okay? And I see a lot of improvements in your mental health and your physical health, and a much more lively, colorful attitude going forward into the future, okay? So let's take a look at what we're working with here. Unhappiness, okay? So this Neptune journey, really wanting to talk about where things have felt very dead inside, okay? And searching for contentment is a well-traveled path that can be elusive. The hunt for happiness might not conclude at the destination, but joy can be found during the journey itself. Yeah, and you know, this Wheel of Fortune with the Six of Cups can talk about the need to search for happiness, or the need to search for emotional satisfaction. You know, that we're searching for something deeper that we can identify with within ourselves and with others, and that this unhappiness, maybe some of the unhappiness has come from like mental health issues, pile number one, or it's come from a feeling of wanting to give up or exhaustion, or who cares, it's not going to work anyway. And just also maybe some, for those of you too that have dealt like with addictions and have dealt with a need to overcome your lower nature, perhaps through desire, I do see, like, and a lot of times people use substances or use other things because they are unhappy with their life and their life does not feel emotionally fulfilling and they're searching for something deeper. Okay, so Neptune really coming to talk to you about addressing any issues with unhappiness, particularly as it relates to the heart chakra. We have spiritual work. Wow. Doing some inner work can help you get clear before you move on. You will get insights into what works, what work will serve your needs best. Okay. And doing that spiritual work, interesting. We've got anger. Your expectations are not met, creating frustration. Express it in a healthy way. Okay, and maybe there's like a lot of shutting down, or I just don't care anymore. Okay, and there's a lot of like shutting down, giving up, and just just shutting down. And perhaps maybe that's some ways that you guys have dealt with anger in the past. And instead of shutting down and completely like disconnecting from everything, Spirit is asking you to face your anger about some things here, pile number 1, and work on setting yourself in a new direction. Anger can be very motivating as far as setting our life in a new direction. We have cauldron and sustain here. Okay, and we have demanding. This is where your life could be very hard to sustain what your mental pace. Okay, and for those of you, I see a woman with a child here. For those of you that have young children or you have children in your life, I mean, yeah, children are a constant effort and it's very demanding, and I'm sure just like anything, it can wreck your mental health, right? Or where a job, we're balancing everything in our life, taking care of our inner child, taking care of ourselves, cleaning the house, doing the chores, right? And we set these impossible standards for ourselves, or other people are setting impossible standards for us. And sometimes we need to tell those impossible standards to sit the fuck down because we are exhausted. Right? And sometimes we just can't sustain the pace of life anymore. Like life is way too demanding. And sometimes it can be our own standards that we've set for ourselves that are just impossible to meet. Deadlines, staying on top of everything, work, family, cleaning, right? It's just all too much. And you know, being able to shut down like the perfectionist within you, or being able to shut down that nagging voice in your head that tells you, I have to do this. I have to be this person. I have to be on top of everything. I have to take care of everything. Okay. Like I really feel you guys are going to be moving towards lightness and moving towards a more sustainable environment for you in your life, okay? And, you know, spiritual work, when you're already overworked in your life, it can feel like, whoa, like I'm already so busy and I'm so mentally overwhelmed, 10 of Swords, but you want me to do more work, okay? But Spirit is saying this spiritual work that you're doing is going to be very nice. And it is going to be about discovering your inner child. It is going to be about traveling. It is going to be about going off and exploring things on your own. It is going to be about putting people in their place and telling, you know, certain idiots in your life to shut the fuck up. I feel like with the Strength card here, okay, I feel like you're really taking responsibility for how your life is run and how you're leading your life, and you're not caving to lower impulses, okay? And some of that may have to do with anger, right? Like we said, like telling the assholes in your head to sit down and shut up, or telling people in your life, look, this is what I have to give. This is what is available as far as my effort. If you need more than that, then you're going to have to A, do it yourself, or B, find someone else to do it. Okay. And there's a lot of sassiness in that strength card, I feel like, pile number one. And, you know, being able to be really strong and flex on certain people if you need to be, if you need to do that, is definitely coming up here. We have Ankh and finding your purpose and what anchors you to life, right? Does something feel like a ball and chain around your foot that you can't escape? Or you want to, I feel like there's going to need to be looking at this pile number one of what is this ball and chain around my foot that I feel like I can't escape? Am I putting it there? Is someone else putting it there? And also, what's the one thing that is truly the most, what is the one or two things that is truly the most important to me, that anchors me in this lifetime in a way that's positive and growth oriented? What are those one or two things? Because I'll focus on those one or two things, and beyond that, I don't care. Okay, is kind of what I feel like this reading is saying. And I think a lot of the purpose that you're tapping into here is like emotional connection with the Six of Cups. Like it needs to have an element of sincere emotional connection and sharing. That's what you like to see, and that's what you like to give, and that does give you purpose in life. Okay, so maybe that is one of the things that comes up as a purpose-giving thing. We have peaceful resolution, okay? And, you know, it's like, is this thing harming me or hurting me, or is it providing value to me? Is it giving me a purpose, or is it actually causing disruption, right? And Spirit is saying there's going to be peaceful resolution, and you may have to get angry for a little bit. You may have to go off on your own for a while. You may have to put some people in their place, pile number one, but ultimately Spirit is saying peaceful resolution is on its way for you. We have rescue. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. And pile number one, I feel like you're a person that's always like rescued yourself, or you're realizing you're the only one, like you're the only one that can actually rescue yourself from your life, okay? And the biggest thing is not feeling like we have a life that we need to be rescued from, but to have a life that we're truly enjoying. We have here Joan of Arc and the voice of truth. Yeah, look at her face, pile number one. She's like, I am not fucking around here. Okay, I got some things I need to say. All right, stand strong, focus on your purpose. Yeah, this is really the Ankh energy. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. Okay, if we're just saying, it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what I do, fuck it, I'm just gonna give up. Okay, and I feel like you guys are saying, no way. I am not gonna give up. And yeah, I am a peaceful person, and I want peace in my life, and I'm not looking for anyone to rescue me. But if you're trying to shut me down and you're trying to quiet my voice, fuck you, is what I feel like you guys are saying, pile number one, okay? Like I mean, you want to see things have a peaceful resolution, but I also feel like you're taking matters into your own hand, and you're not expecting anybody else to save you at this point, or to give meaning to your life. You know that has to come through your own self. And I do feel like you're going to be calling some people out here, pile number one. Okay, and we've got the first house and arrival. Okay, and perhaps some of you, if you have Aries rising or Pisces rising, then you would have been having Neptune in your first house, because we've had Neptune and Pisces for the last like 14 years, and now we're shifting into Neptune and Aries. So for those of you that have planets in Pisces or Aries, you've definitely been feeling the Neptune effect, okay? And for some of you that are Aries rising, perhaps you're going to be having Neptune in your first house, and you're worried about it. But I think it actually is going to make you stronger. Pile number one, it's going to make you stronger and more equipped to physically stronger too with the strength card, and more equipped to address some issues in your life that have been going on for a while. Because it's the first house, it may have to do, you know, with your health, your body, your physical energy, okay, that you're needing to address as well, okay? And maybe there's been some things about your physical self that you haven't been very happy with, and you feel like you've let yourself go, or you feel like the energy has just been drained out of you physically because you're mentally exhausted, okay? And what I see is I see you guys getting serious about taking care of yourself, okay? I see you releasing a lot of pent-up emotions and talking about things a lot more and sharing what's on your mind, and a peaceful resolution around where you're physically at, okay? And we have structure. We have set goals and plans for a strong foundation, okay? And this is something that I feel like takes a while to build, okay? And it can be what we're building within ourselves. It's not always apparent to others that we're doing like renovations on ourselves, right? Because there's a lot of levels and goals that have to be reached before something is available to like be shown out to the world, pile number one. But at the same time, I feel like you guys are saying, but I'm going to have fun while I'm doing it. I'm going to travel, relax, and enjoy myself, and enjoy my relationships and the people around me, and appreciate what I have in my life emotionally while I can. And I feel like you're not dead inside anymore. But it does take a lot of work to kind of like, it's work that's worth doing though, pile number one, but it takes a lot of work sometimes to kind of rebuild the structure, internal structure and the spiritual structure that is within, okay? And maybe some of you have Jupiter in Capricorn, or Jupiter in Virgo, or, you know, Jupiter in Taurus, or Jupiter in an earth sign, because Jupiter is a planet of spirituality and learning as well. And you know that, you know, building something internally is not always building up resilience, building up strength. Like, it's something that you have to kind of lay brick by brick every day. But I do feel like, you know, Spirit is saying set goals and plans for a strong foundation. And if you have some physical goals that you're wanting to meet for yourself, more strength, more energy, like I see a person like flexing in the mirror, pile number one, if you're really like, yeah, I am strong. And I feel like for those of you that are saying, I used to be a lot stronger, but sometimes I feel like giving up, I feel like you are getting back to that sense of, I am strong physically, mentally, emotionally. I am strong. I am moving forward. I am excited for what is possible. I am connecting with what's important to me emotionally on this journey of physical and mental health, okay? So pile number one, that is what I am getting for you as far as your Neptune reading and what is next on your spiritual journey, pile number one. And I feel like it is going to be a very rewarding and fulfilling journey. So take care, my lovelies. Wishing you the very best. Let's move on to pile number two. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the wolf, and today's reading is a Neptune reading on what is next on your spiritual journey, okay? And this wolf card says, turn knowledge into wisdom, my friends. So we are going to go ahead and look at what is next for pile number 2. We have some big fluctuations with Neptune coming up astrologically towards the end of March. Neptune's going to move into Aries for the first time in 165 years, pile number 2. And this is quite exciting and what it means for you on your spiritual journey. Let's go ahead and take a look for pile number 2, please. Let's see what is next on pile number 2's spiritual journey here. Okay, we've got the 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is Mars and Aries energy. So very acquisitive, very curious about the road ahead. Let's go ahead and see. We've got the 10 of coins. That's great for abundance. We've got 7 of wands. Ooh, I love that image. It looks like she's got some bamboo and she is definitely fighting for what is worthwhile in her life there. We've got the 2 of coins and the 2 of pentacles. Okay, interesting. Pile number 2, very, and there is something with the 7 of wands about a spiritual warrior, okay? And Neptune and Aries is definitely bringing that fire, that quality of being a spiritual warrior, all right? And training towards something tangible in the physical world, all right? And with the 10 of coins, I see a lot of dominance and future success, and I see where you may be worried about something, pile number 2, but I also feel like you conquer it, okay? You take it over and you conquer it. You take it into your own hands and you're conquering something here. We have dumbfounded, okay? So this is what Spirit is wanting you to work on your spiritual journey. Sometimes there are no words for things that happen, and the best you can do is shake your head, have a giggle, and move straight past it, okay? And I feel like what's going on here, pile number 2, is that you're getting very serious about you're getting very serious about certain goals in your life and where you're headed, and you don't have a problem working hard to get there, okay? But I think you may be a little bit dumbfounded because there are certain people in your life that you're finding to be kind of dumb, or there's people that you're like, I don't know why they're not taking advantage of this opportunity. I don't know why they are not helping more people. I don't know why. Okay. And I feel like maybe sometimes other people's actions are not very inspired, or other people's actions are maybe causing you to question yourself at times, pile number 2. It's like, I don't know why they wouldn't step up and help someone else. I don't know why people will never go out of their way to help other people. I don't know why other people, like, they're not having the inner confidence to make changes in their life or overcome things, okay? And I feel like you are a fighter and you are a spiritual warrior and you do take care of the people around you. Look at the 3 elephants here. And it's like, I'm going to take care of my crew and make sure that everybody is safe and protected. And I'm willing to do the work to keep that, to make that happen. And I don't know. It just seems like there's some people that don't care about anybody but themselves, or there's just some people that just waste the opportunities that they're getting, and they don't have to work as hard for things, but I'm willing to do the work, okay? And so this is something that Spirit is wanting you guys to, like, certain people in life, they're just not willing to fight for things. They're not willing to make sacrifices. They're not willing to fight for things. I feel like any energy you can deal with, pile number 2, regardless of how bad the astro weather is or how bad things are. I feel like you're a very capable person and you always find a way. But there are other people in this world who are not as resourceful as you. Two of Pentacles. They're not as they're not as fiery as you, or they don't know how to fight for things. Okay. There's just people in this world who don't have the wisdom or the foresight that you have to really like think ahead, pile number 2. Okay, we have long-term. An opportunity could turn into a long-term career move, or you will be asked to commit to a position in exchange for more money. Okay, and yeah, this is interesting. This is good, pile number 2. Okay, this is where you're fighting for a better future for yourself, for more resources, for more money, and you're getting it. Okay. But I also feel like you're looking at, perhaps maybe you're looking at your partner or your children, for those of you that are older, or you're looking at someone that you're wanting. It's like, I don't know why this person, like, I'm dumbfounded. I don't know why they wouldn't want to pursue something more long-term here. I don't know why they wouldn't want to take advantage of the opportunity in this situation, okay? And I feel like what you guys are saying, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go for what I want, right? Because I have to protect my family or the people that I care about. Like, I am going to go after what I want. Let's see here. And we have no boundaries. We have respect, self-care, and limits. Now, this could be with a long-term relationship where you and another person are deciding to go in different directions here, okay? And this could be where it's like, I am so confused by this person's actions when it comes to long-term relationships, okay? And this could be where it's very difficult to establish healthy respect in relationships, and for things to be, because you see, she is walking toward the rings. She is wanting to walk towards a long-term, committed, stable family relationship where you can rely on each other's support. And you see, he is walking in the opposite direction, okay? And so this is where our goals and our commitments are not like aligning, and where it feels like sometimes we're having to do all the extra work for the other person to kind of get there. Okay, but we've got 2 people on 2 different paths that are walking in opposite directions. And I feel like what you guys are saying is, I don't know why this person would choose to leave or choose to go or choose to, but I feel what you guys are saying is, I'm not going to do the work for this person anymore. I'm not going to do, and this could come to your overall philosophy in relationships, pile number 2, where you're like, I am not going to be the one that's constantly doing the work to make something work romantically, when the other person doesn't give a shit and is walking in the other direction. And I feel like what you guys are saying is, I did everything I could in this situation to fight for it, and do the best I could with it. But sometimes we feel like we're the only person in the ring fighting for something. And we're like, in the boxing ring, like throwing shots and working hard and sweating after something, but our partner isn't there. But our partner is missing, absent, non-existent. Okay? And it feels like, why would I put in all this work and effort and change so many things about my life and shuffle, my time commitments around and make space for this person in my life when they're not even walking on the same path that I am? Okay? And what I'm getting from this is, I'm going to do it my damn self. Okay? Is what I'm getting. And there's a lot of spiritual lessons here around relationships, I feel, for you, pile number 2. And we have detach. We have the knife and detach. So why did somebody choose to go? Why did somebody not follow through? Why did somebody change something at the last minute and decide to go in another direction? When what you were offering was a solid commitment and a solid future, and it's like they don't want it. And I also feel like there could be somebody who just randomly drops out of your life, or randomly cuts you off, or randomly disappears from your life. Like, you're talking to someone, it appears like it's a strong foundation, 10 of Pentacles, and boom, they're just gone. It's like they're not there anymore. And yeah, and some of you could be going through this right now, pile number 2, or you're contemplating why someone would do this, or you have been going through this direction or going through this stuff already. You have been kind of moving in this direction of having to fight for things yourself, and having watching like the ground kind of disappear from underneath you that you've built with someone, and somebody has just, without even explaining themselves, or without even really giving you a proper explanation to anything, has just decided to detach from a situation and completely walk away. And maybe you've also had to do the same thing, pile number 2. Okay? And it's like, I thought we were building a future together, 10 of Pentacles. I thought we were, working on this together. And it's like they completely detached. We have addiction. You are either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction. Let's get help. Okay? And, looking at the impact of boundaries and, addiction, wherever that's pills, alcohol, addiction to a person. Okay, it's like, this isn't healthy for me anymore. I need to detach from someone. And for some of you, the partner that you're dealing with could be addicted, okay, to something that is very unhealthy for them. And oftentimes addicts do struggle with that, with boundaries. We have no boundaries in addiction here. And, sometimes it's love addiction that we're struggling with. Sometimes it's pills, alcohol, whatever it is, sexual addiction, whatever it is. There is a need to face that and let something go, pile number 2. And this could be within you or within another person, where it's like this partner is addicted to something and you can't help them anymore, because the more that you try to help them, it's like they don't want to fight for themselves to get better. So you're having to put in double the work to help them get better. And sometimes, like, helping someone else get better can become an addiction in and of itself, as a way to avoid our own problems. Okay. So also, somebody could be just removing themselves and disappearing from your life because of their addiction. And maybe you didn't get an adequate explanation for what was going on, and you didn't, and you have to fight for yourself, and you've got to take care of yourself financially and juggle resources around. And The hard part is when you're depending on somebody financially who has problems with addiction and is spending a lot of money and like walks away from their own personal growth. Okay. And oftentimes that makes us want to fight for something even more. But if somebody isn't going to fight for themselves or fight for the relationship, then sometimes we just have to detach from something and let it go. Okay. And some of it can be realizing that our long-term relationship prospects with a person aren't going to get anywhere when they are in active addiction. And that can be with ourselves and others, pile number 2, okay? We've got Gemini energy here, and this can be where we're looking at our partner and we've got some of the same issues, okay? And maybe it's not healthy to be together because we've got some of the same issues and we're really struggling with codependency and addiction and boundaries in our relationships. And sometimes it's like, it can be hard to talk about. It can be hard to bring these issues to the surface, okay? And if some of you are thinking about a partnership with a Gemini or a partnership with somebody that you feel is like your twin flame, or you feel, because Gemini represents the energy of the twins, if you feel like there is somebody, it's like we're exactly alike and we have the best conversations and we've talked about so many things with each other and it feels like we are aligned on this path together and we want the exact same things and that's what we have communicated to each other, okay? There is like an emotional connection between you and this person, pile number 2, but Spirit is saying it's unlikely that it's going to work out with this person because of the problems within the relationship, okay? When we've got people lying or disconnecting because they're in active addiction, and we've got issues with boundaries, okay? There is something that it's like, okay, it's not, Spirit is saying it's unlikely that a better timeline with this person is going to be established, okay? And here's what I would say, pile number 2 is fight for yourself in this situation, okay? Don't be the only one fighting for a relationship, but definitely fight for yourself, for a better future for yourself. Protect the people that you care about. Take action, okay? And guard your finances carefully is what I would say. And do not rely on financial input from another person, okay? You're going to be fine. Protect and fight for what you have and what's yours, but do not give money to people who are smooth talkers. Do not give money to people who are in active addiction and wanting something for you. It's very unlikely that you'll get that money back or that you'll see that money again, okay? So Spirit is saying, hold on to your money. Do not give money to somebody that has no boundaries, whether that's in a friendship or in a romantic relationship or a friendship, a friend who you really care about who's in active addiction, okay? And some of you may need to detach from certain friendships or certain things in your life. And it's like, it's sad because I feel like you guys are saying this person had a fighting chance to have a good life and they just waste money, or they just like blow money or blow through their money really quickly. And I know you want to be there for that person, pile number 2, or I know you want to help this person financially, but the idea that they're going to pay you back, or the idea that they're going to be able to step up and be like a true partner in helping solve any kind of a practical problem or any kind of a resource problem is very unlikely. They're not it's more likely that they're going to walk in the opposite direction than you. So take your money, take your time, take everything fight for yourself and watch your money is what I would say, pile number 2 in this situation. We have wide open here. Okay, wide open to certain energy. We have Kali Ma and facing our fear. Major spiritual challenges are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Okay, and yeah, this could be where we've left ourselves very open to something in our life, and we've opened up our life to someone, and we're vulnerable, and we are, wide open to something, but because we've made ourselves vulnerable or we've invited something into our lives, now there's a big fear, or there could be a fear around the destruction of that thing. Okay. And we've got here the North Node and the future. And I feel like the future is wide open for you, pile number 2. Now, when we've really bet on something, when we're really feisty and fiery about betting on a certain future that we think is going to happen a certain way, and it doesn't happen that way, and it's snatched from us, that can definitely change where we're headed in the future as we see the destruction of things around us burning in the flames. Now, Kali Ma is an energy of, dancing on the embers of our life, which sometimes we realize, in my openness to be open and wide open to everything, I've also kind of exposed myself to something that I wish I wouldn't have exposed myself to. And now I'm having to face the fear of letting this go or dancing on the ruins of something. And you can see the skulls around Kali Ma's neck, the skull necklace here. Okay. And, this is where Spirit is urging you to be open to change and to be open to the destruction of something if it serves your future. Okay. And sometimes we can't really move forward towards the direction that we need to move in our lives until we dance on the grave of the things that we need to be letting go of. Okay. And being that wide open. And I feel like what ends up happening is everything that you thought that you were fighting for and everything that you thought that you were saving for and it all falls away, pile number 2. And this is very intense. All right. And I've been there myself where I thought I was in control and I was picking the future that I wanted and I was including someone else in that, and it completely fell apart. And it totally spun my future into a direction that I couldn't even imagine. Okay. And if I could counsel my prior self, I would have said, be open to the fact that this is a slippery slope and that things could change in an instant, and be flexible and adaptable to a different future than what you thought. Okay. And, facing our fears while being wide open to moving in a new direction in life is ultimate trust, right? That is where we have to trust in the journey, and we may not understand why. Why, when I had my back turned and I was focused on moving forward and I was open to the possibility of everything, did ultimate destruction come up behind me and force me to dance on its embers, right? Why? And I feel like that's a question, right? That's a spiritual question that we can definitely ask about life, pile number 2. But ultimately, sometimes there is extreme energies of having to dance on the embers of life. Okay. And there can be something exciting about that, but there could also be something very anxiety provoking about that. Oh, things didn't work out the way I thought they were, and now I've left myself wide open to my greatest fears, and I have to move in the direction of my greatest fears. Holy cow, right? And so it is a deep spiritual energy that is coming for you in your life. And I would say learning to be flexible. I would say guard your money carefully as well, because that's something that if we have proper finances, then we're able to dance on the flames of life a lot easier. Things aren't as troubling. We can embrace more of the exciting aspect of it. So if I was a betting person, pile number 2, I would not financially bet on a certain relationship in your life, and I would assume moving forward, dancing on the embers, okay, of life. And it reminds me of those, and I've always wanted to do this, pile number 2, and maybe you've wanted to do it too, but like on New Year's Eve, they always have these events where you can go and like with this group of people and like run across like burning coals, like burning hot coals. And, you know, there are people that do that like run across burning hot coals as a way to like spiritually cleanse something. And some people do it like at the beginning of year to like let go of everything and to challenge themselves to do something that could be a fearful thing in their mind. And maybe some of you are going to take that type of journey or do that type of symbolic ritual where you do something that's frightening and scary, but it actually is really good for you and it like really opens you up to what is possible. Okay, and we have security, feeling secure in your environment. Confidence is key. Okay, and you know, this is the 10 of Pentacles, like, you know, security. This is financial security. I've been talking about money and finances throughout your entire reading. I've cautioned you not to give money to people who are in active addiction that you'll never get the money back from. I've cautioned you from betting financially on people who don't have their shit together, okay? Security is really important for you. Financial security, like it allows us to open ourselves up and face things, face our fears very head on if we feel secure, okay? And security isn't just financial, but it also is confidence. It is fighting for ourselves and fighting for a better outcome for ourselves. 7 of Wands. It's about standing up. Okay. And if you're learning a new skill and you're juggling your commitments, I feel like that's okay during this time. But Spirit really wants you to focus on what makes you feel secure and what makes you feel confident, and not to base that security and confidence on another person at this time. Pile number 2. Okay, now I'll say for me, I've been a person who has based like when I was younger, I would have never trusted another person, whether they were in active addiction or not, with my money or my financial situation at all. And I was very against relying on a partner for financial support, okay? As I've gotten older and I have better relationships in my life, I'm more open to things like that. As my relationships have become more solid and secure, I'm more open to, you know, my partner and having, you know, having a joint perspective there. But when I was younger, definitely not, okay? In certain phases of our lives call for different things, pile number 2. So some phases of our life require us to trust our partner and trust that they're gonna be there and be in that vulnerable position and let them help us. And other phases of our life, absolutely not. It's absolutely important to stand and fight for what we want and build that security for ourselves and to face our fears around the future and what's coming in the future, and allow ourselves to shed the past so that we can be wide open to what's coming in the future, okay? So those are some things to think about, pile number 2, with regard to your spiritual journey and your Neptunian journey about what is coming ahead. And I feel self-reliance for you is definitely where it's at, and that is what helps you build security. So pile number 2, thank you so much for coming to your reading. Wishing you the very best. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Beaver spirit. And the message for this card is lay a solid foundation, pile number 3. And we are talking about, this is a Neptune reading, talking about what is next on your spiritual journey. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into your reading. And with Neptune, we oftentimes don't think about a solid foundation, but in this case, we're thinking about Neptune as a motivating factor for inspiring us towards our dreams, as we have Neptune moving into Aries at the end of March for the first time in 165 years, pile number 3. We've got Neptune moving into Aries. Quite exciting, okay? That happens on March 31st, and Neptune stays in a sign for about 14 years, so we're on a long journey, all right? We've got time to work on our spiritual growth, to work on our spiritual foundations, okay? So let's go ahead for pile number 3 and see what is next on pile number 3's spiritual journey. What is next? All right. We've got the 8 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. This is where we're questioning everything, okay? We're questioning everything about ourselves and what our lives are going to be about and what's in the mirror. We've got Justice, okay? We've got the 4 of Swords, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. And I love the 4 of Swords in this deck because it looks like she is in like an incubator, and she's being incubated she's like sleeping, but she's also growing. And, you know, for some of you here, I really do feel like your dreams of what you love and the life that you always envisioned for yourself is something that Spirit really wants to call attention to, and the ability to grow these dreams in a practical way, and the ability to kind of like stay protected while something is so new and growing, okay? So we are going to talk about that, and maybe you have been in a phase, pile number 3, where you've been questioning everything spiritually, and you've been feeling kind of lost, or you've been feeling kind of like off-put in your spiritual journey, okay? And with the Justice card here, I do feel like things are balancing out, and I do feel like a sense of like safety and new authentic growth is coming your way. And I love, like, in this Ace of Pentacles, how the hands are kind of dirty, because it symbolizes like being able to get our hands dirty sometimes, or being able, like, not being afraid of the dust or the dirt or the grime or the grimy, dusty, dirty part of rebirth. And, you know, staying focused during those phases of our life. So let's check and see what we have here. We have Dazed. Wow. Yeah. And that's really with this 8 of Swords that I was talking about, like questioning everything and having a lot of questions about things and feeling lost about something. Enough time has been spent wandering around in a listless daze. Even if you're unsure of the direction you're heading, just start by doing something, okay? And maybe you have felt disconnected from your spiritual purpose, or disconnected from your life, or just lost and questioning everything. And enough time has been spent wandering around. And maybe for some of you too, I feel like there's an event that happened in your life a couple of years ago, pile number 3, that was really hard. Okay, this could be the loss of somebody in your life that you really cared about that's no longer in your life. This could be the loss of a person, like a partnership or a friend or a job. Like, this could be where you had an experience a couple of years ago, is what I'm getting, pile number 3, or in the last year or the last couple of years, that really, like, you're like, okay, that's not how I saw that going. And it could have made you feel like you're really lost, or like you're really searching for something in your life, that like it upset the apple cart in a way that made you feel like you're kind of just lost and wandering around in your life and dazed and confused about your future, okay? Or the future of your relationships, or the future of what's ahead, okay? And I feel like here with this 4 of Swords and this Ace of Pentacles, you have been growing. It's just been taking a lot of time. You have been changing. You've been in like an incubation phase for like the last couple of years. And I feel like with this Justice card, you're getting a grip on things. You're getting a handle on things. You're balancing out. You're very focused, okay, on the decisions that need to be made in your life for a better future. I feel like you're getting a grip on things, and you're in like an incubation phase for something brand new in your life, okay? So pile number 2 or 3, very interesting. We have influence. Use your influence for change. You may do public speaking, social videos, or interviews. Your voice and opinion are important, okay? And for those of you that are on social media, or you are influencers, or you are wanting to, get your message out, I feel this is a really good, and maybe you've been unsure of where to go with everything, but I feel like you're heading into a phase of doing the work. We've got this Beaver spirit here, so there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of practical things that have to line up, okay? But you're in an incubation phase right now for some really exciting new growth, very organic growth. And Spirit is saying, there's a lot going on in the world, and perhaps some of you are focused on justice, or you are focused on social justice. You want to make people aware of the issues going on in the world, and you have something important to say about that. I feel the seed of what is being offered to you is going to come through a dream, pile number 3, and I feel like your dreams are going to be, and Neptune actually rules over dreams and governs the dream world. And it's very organic how this all happens, but you want to see justice in the world. You do not like tyranny. You do not like oppression, okay? You don't like it when people feel like they can't say what they want to say. Some of you could be starting a podcast, a YouTube channel. Some of you may already have that, and your influence is growing and expanding, okay? And we have seductive allure. Instant gratification blinds you to the consequences. Craving, promises hidden, okay? And this can be where we're getting very seduced, and Neptune is definitely a planet of glamour and seduction, and making us, kind of sucking us into the seductive allure of being an influencer, or there's a need to maintain organic grounding in whatever it is that you're doing. Instead of just going for big names or going for followers or going, as soon as we see something start to grow, that can be very seductive. I remember when my YouTube channel was like really growing years ago, like it was on fire. I was like, whoa, that many people care about what I have to say, huh? There can be something very seductive about that. You know, there can be something very alluring about, you know, instant gratification or instant growth, but possibly like having, it's like this growth that comes out of nowhere that you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. All of a sudden, what I'm saying and what I'm doing is having a big impact on people, or people are really listening to what I have to say. And there is a spiritual message in that of not getting like pulled. If you are going to be having a lot of influence, pile number 3, if you are going to be attracting a big crowd to what you're doing, there is like a thing of staying balanced with who you are within, and not allowing, you know, all the attention or things like that to kind of seduce you into inauthentic kind of relating, is what I feel. Okay. There could also be people that are very attracted to your message or are very attracted to what you're doing, but ultimately it's organic. Things can be very messy and dirty and crude at times, in that they are just starting, right? They are just starting. So what you start with isn't necessarily what you finish with, but there is the allure of that influence in starting something that is genuinely coming from you and genuinely coming from a deep place within you. We have fire and spirit. This is creativity, okay? This is creation. This is being inspired to create and try new things. This is the energy to go and do things and travel and try things in a way that is very like balanced. It's so cute right now because there's a bunch of snow outside my window, and I just saw someone walking past my window with their dog, and I'm like, how cute. Pile number 3, how cute is that? I feel like your words have a big influence over people and can be very seductive towards others. So there is a need to stay grounded in that energy. Okay, I definitely feel your fire is increasing. Neptune is moving into Aries, and that is about inspiration. It is about fire. It is about uplifting the spirit to new heights, okay? There's a lot of, I feel like you're not going to be so dazed and confused walking around like, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what's happening in my life. I'm confused about where I should go next. I feel like your decision making is on point. Okay, with the Justice card here, you're not confused about the direction you need to go or the decisions that you need to make, and you're very motivated to make those decisions. And when that happens, it like removes a layer of crap that's been holding you back. I feel pile number 3, seeking perfection. Everyone has flaws. Choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter, okay? And this is where we're trying to be fair. Like with Justice, we're wanting to be fair with things, okay? Everyone has flaws. For those of you that are feeling the seductive allure of talking to new people, or perhaps getting involved, nurturing a new relationship, or getting attracted to somebody again, and you've got a long list of things that you're looking for, Spirit is saying, you know, chill. Okay, everyone has flaws. Choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter. Okay, and this is where we're being fair to ourselves and fair to other people, right? Because nobody's perfect. And when we are looking at whether a relationship is balanced or not, the Justice card, right? We want to look at what originally attracted to us to that person in the first place, right? And if they are, if there's somebody that is seducing you into their world, pile number 3, then you can always make a list, right? You can make a list of your deal breakers, because it is important to have deal breakers. It is important to honor those deal breakers too, right? And even though somebody could be presenting a deal breaker to you, the seductive allure of talking to that person or getting to know that person could definitely be there. Like a deal breaker could be, okay, I'm not going to get involved in any long distance relationships. But it's like, oh, I just met this person and it's total fucking fire, and I'm feeling the heat and I'm feeling the glamour and I'm feeling the desire of it all, and I want to hop on this situation, right? But it's one of my deal breakers of not getting involved in a long distance thing, right? So this is where with Justice, we have to make some decisions, okay? We've got to make some proactive decisions. And with things that we can live with, right? I mean, I'm not saying with our deal breakers that we can't break a deal breaker every once in a while and allow something in, right? But it's about the ability to weigh out these decisions and make decisions that are proactive for our growth, that allow us to put energy towards the things that we are really seeking. Okay, especially because you spiritually are in an incubation phase right now where you are growing something within you that's very creative. And part of that growth does have to do with the ability to make certain proactive decisions for yourself and maybe not get sucked into the allure. Okay, so it's important to look at these decisions that you're making in your life, and if you're in an incubation phase for something new, then it's important to decide like what is helping me in that phase or what is not good for me in that phase. Does this seductive thing, does it actually help me on this path? Okay. We have crown chakra, meditation, connection. Okay. So there is something here for you guys about focusing on your crown chakra, doing meditations as it relates to your crown chakra. And perhaps maybe some of you need to get a crown chakra massage, or maybe you really like to have your head rubbed. It's important to relax. It's important to massages, self-care, putting the effort in to take care of oneself, relaxing your crown chakra, taking care of your crown chakra. All right, because you do have some important decisions, and it's important to have a clear mind and a clear head and really have a clear connection to spirit, okay? And some of you, while you're talking, you're going to be channeling, okay? We have influence in a microphone and crown chakra here. So some of you may be actually channeling things, or channeling things while you sleep, or exploring precognition. All right. And exploring dreams and precognition in dreams, and also exploring like channeling while you're talking or channeling while you're writing. Perhaps I'm closing my eyes right now, pile number 3. So perhaps there is something about closing your eyes and leaning into speaking the truth towards something, and staying really balanced within your own physical being. Therefore, you can become a channel, okay? And some of you here, like I said, you could be channeling things that are from higher sources, and, you know, making that crown chakra connection is very important on your spiritual journey, okay? We have here, not the right time. And this is coming out under seductive allure, okay? So if you're needing to keep something very pure in your life right now because it's in the incubation phase and it's in a growth phase and you're needing to stay very balanced, it maybe is not the right time to fall into seductive allures or fall into chasing after somebody that like is part of a deal breaker. And I think deal breakers are important, right? Sit down, write down 5 deal breakers. If you're like, hey, I am in an incubation phase of my life right now and I don't want to be distracted by crushing or relationships with inappropriate people because I need to keep things in my life really pure right now, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, in order to maintain that crown chakra connection, I can't be falling for unavailable people and then tripping over my own shoes because I'm dazed and confused and I got sucked into a Neptunian fantasy. That's where it's really important to lay a solid foundation and have your deal breakers, okay? Your 5 things that this is not what I'm gonna pursue because it's not the right time when I'm in an incubation phase of watching something grow and needing a pure connection to channel, to source. I am not going to have seductive, alluring things that tempt me from my path right now, okay? And it's not that I'm against relationships, it's just that I don't want like deal breaker things, okay? And so I do think that that is important. And maybe some of you are saying to yourself, hey, it's not the right time to get sucked into craving instant gratification and making out with a certain person that I'm attracted to, but I know is not practical. Because with the Ace of Pentacles, we want to focus on what is practical and what is workable in the moment, right? And so, yeah, there could be this thing where it's like, yeah, falling into this seduction of this person. And I'm truly getting something about long distance here. So some of you could be really feeling a pull towards a certain person. But Spirit is saying it's not the right time right now to fall head over heels for somebody that can't really be in your life in a certain way. And perhaps logically you guys are like, I know, but it's so tempting because I'm really attracted to this person and it feels like they're perfect for me and I'm really attracted to this situation and I don't want to sleep on these opportunities and I need to make some decisions about this because but as soon as it starts impacting like your spiritual routines, your meditation, your channeling, your source connection, your ability to be very raw and new with something, as soon as it starts like interrupting that, then you know it's gone too far. Okay, pile number 3. So that's my advice on that. We have Spirit of Place. Wow. If I was just there, I love this place. It's beautiful. It speaks to my soul. It speaks to my spirit. And it's perfect. And trying to find that perfect place within ourselves that really, and perhaps for some of you here, traveling, going to live somewhere new for a while, it feels perfect, right? There's something very seductive about that place. There's something very seductive about how you feel and your energy when you're there. And there could be a certain person that's there too, that it's like, why can't we be together? Or why can't we be in this place together? Okay. But the Spirit of Place is also where we are in our lives and honoring that place. If we're at a place where we need rest, when we need to take care of our physical selves, when we need to be making proactive decisions for our life on a mentally logical level, then yeah, we have to know like what phase am I in my life here. We have Radha and Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Oh my goodness. Experience relationship harmony and healing. Wow. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. And this is, you can see water in the background here, or the ocean. Perhaps some of you are very drawn to water or drawn to the ocean right now. And there is a part of yourself, a place that you feel very at home, or you feel very drawn to. And perhaps in that place you did experience relationship harmony and healing, and that place that you were in really seduced you, and it felt like everything was perfect. And there's a little bit of a sadness or a little bit of a missing something, but I also feel like you guys are dreaming about that situation, or you're dreaming about that person, and you're dreaming about meeting a fellow traveler along the road of life and meeting in a very special place together and finding that lost part of yourself through one another. I'm not saying, pile number 3, that you can't have some very beautiful, deep spiritual experiences with another person, because I feel you can, or I feel that you have had that. Okay, in the past, when you were in a different place in your life, or when you were traveling. Okay, it's not to say that that isn't a valuable, deep experience, because I feel that it is. I feel that it is crucial to your spiritual growth as well. But we also have to really measure that against seductive allure and craving something that isn't the right time. Okay. And maybe I feel you guys are heavily dreaming of being in a different place, or you're heavily dreaming. Your soul is like gaining healing through dream time. Okay. Through meditation and dream time, you are gaining a sense of peace and healing. Pile number 3 is what I feel. Okay. And maybe it isn't the right time for a in-depth, long distance relationship right now, but the seduction of it is very alluring. But there is somebody that is at a long distance from you, or there is something that is your soul feels called to a particular place, that feels like you can finally stretch, or you can finally unwind, or you can finally breathe, or your soul feels at peace, which is very beautiful. Yeah, we have the 12th house in introspection, and the 12th house in astrology is definitely associated with meditation, healing retreats, meditation retreats. It's definitely associated with sleeping and dream time, and otherworldly encounters while we're sleeping and dreaming, while we're meditating. The 12th house is also, spirituality and channeling and connecting to the divine. It is a house of moksha, which moksha is liberation, spiritual liberation, from our material world concerns, where we truly feel free on a spiritual level, and we're not so much connected to the earth plane or the earthly existence of the rhythms of life, but more of the spiritual side of life. And it says introspection. So this is where we go within and we get really quiet within ourselves in order to hear the words of spirit, which are flowing through and channeling through. So this is very beautiful energy, pile number 3, very spiritual energy. We have pathway. Follow your own path. You do not need to follow another. Okay. And this is where what makes you happy may not make another person happy. What you want out of your life, maybe some people just want a quiet life where you go live in the woods and amongst all the big, beautiful redwood trees, and you feel like you're a magical witch in a forest. Maybe some people want to go live by the water or live by the ocean and have their life be that. Maybe some people want to go live in like a group situation where everybody kind of contributes equally to the land, and it's not about profit and it's not about capitalism or money. It's more of like an existence of freedom and living off the land and wandering and traveling to different places, right? Your path in life isn't always going to make sense to other people, and it's not up to you to make everyone else understand your path, okay? Your path is unique to you. It's centered in you. And the things that you want and the things that feel valuable to you spiritually are not always going to be what feels valuable or spiritual to other people. Okay, that's very personal to who we are as a person. And I feel your path is very defined by where you feel like wandering and where you feel the most at peace within yourself, and where you can really like relax and let go. And the decisions that you make in your life are going to be guided by that wisdom and by that knowledge. And maybe everyone else isn't always understanding those decisions, or it's something very private to you, which is fine. That's totally fine. And it's good to have a dream or have a path that we know we want to follow in the future. Maybe right now we can't like go there exactly right now, or we can't be there exactly right now because it says not the right time, but we know someday that's where we are headed, and we know that's where our soul is basically called to. So pile number 3, that is what I am getting for you. Very gentle, lovely reading for you. Wishing you the very best. Take care.